What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Guys, we have the news. Jonathon Taylor is officially back this week. Crazy that we have been through a wild training camp, a wild off season, and a wild beginning part of the season. And now, all of a sudden, our running back one, true running back number one, is ready to come back to play for Indianapolis in week 5 against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, a couple things to talk about here right away, guys. As everyone knew, he was placed on the PUP list to start the year out because of rehabilitating his ankle that was still messing with him. And he is fine now and will definitely try his best to make it work this upcoming week. Jonathon Taylor will practice. That is the words of Shane Steichen. And by all accounts, sounds like he's ready to go. A couple things to talk about. I know it has been a wild ride. Clearly, when it comes to how Jonathon Taylor and his agent approached this decision, or how they approached the offseason and right before the season started. That was not handled the way that we all wanted it to be. But at the end of the day, I wonder how many people are going to hold that continuously as a grudge over Jonathon Taylor. Which, I mean, again, if you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm just insinuating that obviously if Jonathon Taylor goes out and balls for the Indianapolis Colts the rest of this season, then I could say that all is forgiven for what has happened through the first couple weeks of the season, basically the first 2 months of this season. I'm willing to forgive and forget. I hope that a lot of you, I presume a lot of you would feel the same if Jonathon Taylor came back and did what he has done in Indianapolis for the last several years, which is play excellent football for this Indianapolis Colts team. Now, again, from all accounts, it sounds like even Shane Steichen even mentioned it in the presser after talking with the media today, said that Jonathon Taylor is excited to return to this team and play. Now, the crazy part about all of that is we have heard nothing from the national media outside of people saying that the Colts have mishandled the situation. The Colts don't want to pay him ever. The Colts don't have been the proprietor in all this, and Jonathon Taylor wants nothing to do with the Colts. Well, here we are in week 5, and by all accounts, we don't 100% know what is going through Jonathon Taylor's head completely. We probably won't hear from Jonathon Taylor until maybe later in the week, maybe even next week. Who knows? But by all accounts, the guy that is coaching this team and the guy who has had direct contact with Jonathon Taylor has been saying that Jonathon Taylor is excited to get back out and play for this team again, which I will take that over anyone in the national media saying anything else. So it is great to hear that Shane Steichen said that this Jonathon Taylor and them have talked with each other and they are looking to get back to playing like they want to be. Now, of course, we have to remember, guys, Jonathon Taylor has not played a football game. I can't remember exactly his last game of last season. That is a really good question. I know that he has had times where he has missed in 2022. I'll have to look it up what his last few games were. Yeah, the last time that he had really done anything in a game was against the Dallas Cowboys in the early part of December of last year. It was the last time that he touched a football and did anything of sort. Well, actually, that's not true. He did play for part of Minnesota in the middle of December, right before he went down with the other injury again. So, okay, mid-December, he has not played a football game in almost 12 months. And with his injury having issues, right? It is definitely clear that Jonathon Taylor, even though he may be healthy enough to play football again for this team, he will definitely not be in prime conditioning for this game when it happens. Now, will he play on Sunday? That's to be determined. Shane Steichen said we're going to see how he does in practice, and we're going to see how it goes. And remember, something that just happened right before I went on this video here. Reports are that the Colts are not holding a regular practice on Wednesday. They're actually going to be doing a walkthrough on that day and then having regular practice on Thursday. My guess is probably get some of their guys a little bit more healthy, not doing as many practices throughout the week. That would be my guess. You've had a couple guys go down with injury, a couple guys that are trying to get back. So hopefully they can just figure that out going forward. So nevertheless, Jonathon Taylor will not be 100% when he plays in the game against Tennessee. And, you know, I mean, at the end of the day as well, he most likely is going to take at least a couple weeks to get back to game shape. And the only way he's going to get back into game shape is by having full weeks of practice and getting on the field and having a few plays where he's able to test himself. That's what he needs to do. So he will not be carrying the full workload going forward for probably a while. They're probably going to go running back by committee, which is no problem because we've seen how Zach Moss has handled this situation. He has performed very well. So I have no doubt that Zach Moss can handle it while Jonathon Taylor's trying to squeeze his way back in here. But it is great to see that the news is Jonathon Taylor will be returning for the Indianapolis Colts. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. We wondered on whether or not, even if he was reactivated, if he would want to play for the Indianapolis Colts again. And it sure sounds like he will. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, go Colts.